What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another weekly recap. If you are new here, welcome. Thanks for checking in with your girl for the first time. Like the video, comment down below, and of course, I definitely want you to check out some other videos. Stick around a little bit, see if you like it, girl, and hit that subscribe button, right? But my oldies but goodies, what's good? Let's get into this. We're on episode. We're getting so close, y'all. At one point, I do believe they said they were 16 days away from decision day. Like, we are so close to the very end, and I'm definitely really kind of really predicting who's probably going to be saying yes on decision day. So episode 12, baby steps, which I was like, baby steps, I'm thinking baby steps, but this baby thing probably had a lot to do with, maybe, been a metaphor, meaning, or is that a metaphor? Whatever the one is, that kind of this means more than just one thing. And so I was like, maybe everybody's taking baby steps, but at the same time, Lindy and Miguel had a whole baby for their experience, for their exercise. If that wasn't interesting enough and new enough, I keep feeling I keep saying that they've really been spewing out some new stuff this season, which, I'm all for. We got to keep it interesting, whatever. So, y'all know we got to go ahead and get into this. So let's go ahead and hit on Stacia and Nate first. Basically, overall though, this week's episode was about intimacy and trust. Our girl Dr. V is gone, replaced by Dr. Pia. So she's visiting all the couples to see how she can help with getting them closer as far as with intimacy and trust, or even where they are currently with intimacy and trust. So Stasha and Nate's, I feel theirs was pretty straightforward. The main thing, I guess, which makes sense, being that it was about trust and intimacy, because Stacia does have an issues, with trust. And where that comes in and affects Nate is because he needs that affects him if he feels like he doesn't have that he is not trusting of him. So he's asking for what is it necessary to you're just saying that you don't trust, but speak specifically in regards to what it is that you don't trust about me. And they really just want to clear that up. And the professionals, as the professionals do, start to realize things and make connections. And Dr. Pia asked Stacia, was her trust connected basically to control or whatever or whatnot. And she, was basically kind of yeah, probably so. So, being that was their big exercise, was breaking down that barrier and her being able to relinquish control so that she can realize that she can trust him. Because if she's not giving him the chance, if she's not giving him the room so that she can trust him, then how is she going to trust him? So perfect exercise for them. And when I say, you see, I'm blushing right now. Your girl was blushing all through this episode because it was this getting real raunchy and real frisky now. This was definitely an adult episode. My daughter loves to watch. She's preteen now, watching these episodes with me. But sometimes, it can be a lot. And I'd be having to send her off, that's stuff that we need to be having talks about. Yes, yeah, we talking about that. All right, boom, boom, boom. So, all right, da-da-da, or if not, either way, y'all. So, they, I call, what they call it, the sex dungeon. They went to this, they set it all up for them. They had the whipped cream for them. They had the toys. They set this all up. But what was it, that swing thing that hung from the door? I was oh, it's y'all really about to low-key PG try that out right now in front of us, cameras. Y'all don't think y'all don't want to give them no space. Y'all don't know. We just gonna do this right here. Okay. Well, I guess this is what we gonna do. It was getting a little hot and heavy, But you could see where it was taken, obviously, moments for her to, like, probably, just get comfortable. And he's like ready to put whipped cream in her mouth. And just like, what you doing? What you put that out? Like, girl, shut up. Open your mouth wide and take whatever he gives you. That's trust right there. That's trust right there. If not, so y'all, it if they not yes on decision day, I don't know what is. But every week, sometimes, we seem to get surprises or whatever or whatnot. Like, I don't know what that comment was that he's making on next week's episode, but somebody better chill out. Like, I don't know. Like, overall though, they really seem to the intimate. I mean, intimately, sexually, they really seem to, that connection definitely seems to be there. That body language, that they have, they really seem to, like, connect. So, it's a bit thrown off, like, seeing, like, what Nate might be saying out of his mouth in that particular setting, because they really seem to, like, really that I really like, that was like a good match. Like, the professionals really did a good job with them matching them. So and like, they really, like, don't really seem to have, like, they've had their issues, they've worked through it. So presently it doesn't seem like really much is going on besides just working to that trust level, so they're one of my faves. So I can't even, I don't, they're one of my faves, at this point. So since we're talking about them, let's go ahead and talking about Justin and Alexis, right? Because they were literally in the midst of having, like, and it wasn't even a fight. Like, I know Dr. Pierce sounded like, it sounded like it was kind of, it did not even sound like that. Maybe because we're used to how they conversate with each other, and, she's necessarily not, or whatever, whatnot. But Alexis is a person who, she likes to hang out. She's not a homebody. I can relate to her on that because I'm not a homebody. I like to hang out with my friends, whatever. I like to be out. I just like to even do stuff. So it's not even that necessarily I have to be out doing it with my friends. Like, as my partner, we could be doing all these things together and experience this together. And, that's even good enough for me. But the difference is Justin is not necessarily that type of person. Now, from what it seems like, it's more of like, a club scene, them going to, like, a club or, like, just hanging out. And, she's like, no, we do brunch sometimes. So she like to go out, y'all. The girl like to go out. I feel it. Necessarily, I'm not into more of a club scene anymore, but I like to hang out, go somewhere with the girls, sit down, have a couple of drinks, maybe some good food, like whatever, but that don't necessarily have to be it. But we do need to have some drinks with it though. So we can go bowling, we need to have some drinks. We can go to Frankie's, we need to have some drinks. Like, just having a good time, with some spirits. So, y'all, at the same time though, I don't think that unless, like, this is something that y'all are doing as a couple, you doing it every weekend without your significant other is a bit much. And even I get that. Like, yes, like, let's talk about, like, a compromise here. Like, where can we get, to a compromise of things? But honestly, y'all, it wasn't even like they had to jump on that and get on that the first, talk that out, and talk that through. He said this, he wants me to be free, Granted, yes, but I don't think that he necessarily thought that meant that you were going to be going out every weekend and being married. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes, you get to somebody who's more outgoing than the other, like, how compromise is all some sort of compromise. But I guess the tricky situation with it was he was more of a yes man to her. So he wasn't really speaking up in those situations and saying like, nah, I don't want you to hang out tonight, or hey, maybe stick in, or basically, because it seems like he didn't, according to her, you never gave me a chance to basically like choose. You never gave me a chance to say, okay, well, you were where you said no. And I was like, okay, like, or so you can't say that they come first or you choose them over me when I've never been presented that opportunity, necessarily. So once that even got on the table, we never even got to even talking about they never even got to end up talking about a compromise with Dr. Pia, because they ended up coming back to obviously the reason for a visit was, trust, and intimacy. So she immediately like shut off and couldn't even get there, because I guess she feels like that there's still this lingering issue. And even as far as to tell Dr. Pia that she wasn't feeling, yeah, she was like, I feel isolated, I feel alone and dismissed by both of you, or whatever, whatnot. And I don't think that was necessarily like what was happening, necessarily the case. Sometimes I do wonder where not Stasha, Alexis is necessarily, as far as like this, being married, whether she's ready, her thoughts, on like on being married. I have to rethink them, and are they in the right place? And I think what puts that footing, I guess, that question back is because she's continuing to stay and work through it. Because so many times I felt like she might be checked out. Like at this point, I don't know, y'all. I don't see it. Like, I really feel like they could really get to that moment. But I think come decision day, I feel like because it's decision day and it hasn't happened up to that point, they're not going to want to continue to put the work in. And where I feel like if they gave him more of the chance of the work, then, they could, like, how could it go there? And then now, just like and maybe he's right. Like, we were strangers, like we didn't know each other or whatever necessarily. And now we know each other on a different, type of level, not intimately, because they're still not, having sex. And that's that disconnect. And I think that trusting, I think for Alexis, to why she's not able, to get that, because it's a bit of stress, more or less, of what already that she's dealing with, and she's not feeling that connection for them there. I don't think they're hearing each other a lot in these conversations sometimes. Like even when they had their exercise, do I even want to go there yet? That's what it was. There was a point where she had basically said that she did not know if she was ready to be married to him. And from that point on, I think that really, Justin really like took that, to heart. And that started to possibly just move differently as far as like this situation, and even this marriage. I think he might even shut down basically like a little bit even from that. Like, so when they even had when they did their exercise or whatever or whatnot, and she like brought a pole out or whatever, whatnot, got on the pole for him or whatever, that was cool. Things just started to take a turn when they did the whole blindfold thing, and they basically said the things to each other that they hadn't necessarily, said. And which in this instance necessarily, of course, Alexis doesn't say anything, and Justin really starts to getting things off of his chest about her possibly not being ready, for marriage. And he was really just like, oh yeah, even about the dogs, that basically if the dog situation was, the shoe was on the other foot, she wouldn't have got rid of Newton. And like even that, like Alexis feels like she's putting, I feel like she thinks that she's feel like she's just putting in so much work and doing so much more, and that Justin isn't necessarily. I think that was wrong and unfair for her to say. because I don't think she understands him. I think they're right in that. And that is why she doesn't know him necessarily. And hey, that could very well be on his part. Maybe he's not letting something in. Maybe he's not, according to her, being truthful or whatever or whatnot. I I think with and then what grates my nerves with Alexis is when she gets that it's best to, which no response is the best response, because once you say that out loud, it's kind of like you have something to say. Clearly you're choosing to not say it, and there's a reason why you're choosing not to say it, and sometimes that's not always in a positive light for reason why you're choosing not to say it. And I feel like that grates Justin's nerves too, just as much when she does that. At the same time, I can kind of get where she's coming from with the, I wanted him to be able to have his truth and not feel like in response to what I'm gonna say, it's an attack on him. But here the exercise wasn't technically done. At the same time, she's basically saying the things that I'm going to say are the things that I've already said before. I get it. How many times do you feel like you need to say it? Say it again for all time's sake. I don't know. Maybe because the fact that with the blindfolds and all that, whatever, like it'll be received differently. We just need to have like a positive hopes about the turnout about things. Maybe like I'm gonna leave them here. I'm gonna leave them there, y'all. I got to leave them there. We gonna leave them there. I don't know. It's this close to decision day, and I feel like Alexis is gonna say no. Justin, yes, I feel like Alexis is gonna say no. I think she's gonna be tapped out. As much as I do feel like she's sticking in and really trying, I think decision day is really gonna give her out. So Lindy and Miguel, I think, were technically the only couple who did they end up meeting with? No, they really didn't. I really don't think they ended up meeting up with Dr. Pia. Their exercise was the baby. Now they are the couple that haven't really had the issues that some of the other couples, have been having. And so maybe this was just maybe like kind of like a different type of, like, I don't want to call it like a test, because it's always not a test. It's an exercise, for everybody. But just a different way of reaching them on, in that intimacy, trust level or whatever or whatnot. As cute as I don't know what, because the baby does kind of like look like Miguel. I think they named the baby Miguel and Lindy, like, it's kind of cute. Like, they're cute, y'all. But I don't know. We might see some things really start to rift and might take a turn here next episode. But them with his baby, like, I was like, all right, this is gonna be it. This is going to be, this is what's gonna get them. It's the baby. It was not, y'all. Like, they were super cute with the baby, together, like partnering up on it. And like, first off, the fact that Lindy did not know that the sound the baby was making, she was like, I think the baby's glitching. No, girl, the baby is drinking its bottle. You have the bottle to its mouth. Like, no, it's gulping and drinking, because that's really like what they sound like. I can't even make the noises, but they really be making some noises. But yeah, like they were really just really like, making it work with the, with the baby, getting into like, the exercise. I think, they did like the body shot. This year did a body shot for the first time. So come on. Cheers to you, Lindy, for your first body shot ever. Like, get it in, girl. Do your thing. Get it in. All right, now, so Kristen and Mitch, though, y'all, like, I'm really though falling in love with them as a couple, and I'm really actually like getting like intimate. Like he was really rubbing me the wrong way, like in the beginning, but I'm really like invested in their relationship, and I'm invested like in him and the work that he's doing, and like, you know, getting into this, you know, marriage and things with Lindy. So it started off with him reaching out to his female neighbor who's like, you know, a good friend, someone he really befriended, you know, during the pandemic, stuff like that. So he reached out to her for advice because basically Mitch is a dork, as we already know, and basically what's weird about him is he laughs and when he's feeling insecure, anxious, but as well as when he's feeling secure. So in the bedroom, you know, he's making it kind of a joking matter, and it's kind of like a bit of a turnoff for Lindy, which not Lindy, for Kristen. And you know what? The friend could not have like put it to him like even better. Like y'all are just getting to know each other, try to understand her standpoint, you know, and that, and feeling like what are you supposed to like think of this when this is like happening? She doesn't like give her a little bit, try to, you know, come around to being, you know, a little bit more serious, and then let's like, you know, maybe y'all can come around, you know, and talk about it. So they did of course talk about it with Dr. Pia, and basically talking about how, because basically they put in the brakes on that basically until, I don't even know how long they said that they were just putting the brakes on it for, but basically now like it was just like coming to a pause. And even like I feel like their exercise, like, you know, that they were given was like perfect for them, you know, exploring each other's bodies, you know, blindfolded, you know, saying what you like, what you don't like, as far as like touch, and you know, and just stuff like that. Like I, even then, like that was, I was getting a little blushy with them too. But I was like, okay, y'all, you over here getting a little, like the little slight pressure he was putting into her legs, and I was like, Mitch, he's really like he's into Lindy. Why do I keep calling Kristen Lindy? He's really into Kristen. I think there is, because he has such an experience in these things. I think maybe he possibly, you know, he's just like Menard, just dumb, and just does dumb things, like, you know, even her challenging her, I guess, necessarily on her, that could as well just him just kind of like being a prick. He doesn't even like just like realize it because he is a prick or whatever. But like, you know, him challenging her on like who her, you know, heroine was or whatever or whatnot. So, but I like genuinely, the guy is like a good guy, y'all. Like I can't fault him, you know, necessarily or whatever or whatnot. Like, you know, I think obviously we all understand him a little bit better now that we've gotten a whiff of like his past. But I definitely think, I don't know, I think they're moving like in a good direction. I really think that they're definitely one of the couples that are for sure going to, despite whatever, going to stay together, you know, during decision day. I think, you know, maybe he might even be self-sabotaging, you know, a little bit in some way, because, you know, he's just scared. You know, he has a fear because, again, I'm pretty sure he's never been in a relationship to this level, to even this type of degree, taking off the fact of, you know, being married at first sight. So I got high hopes for them basically at this point. I'm fully invested in them, y'all. I'm fully invested in them. I think that what I worry though is he's shutting down sometimes when Lindy is not Lindy, y'all. I cannot stop saying Lindy's name. When Kristen is, you know, just expressing the things that she needs or whatever, whatnot, like his facial expressions, like I be trying to read them, and I don't know, it throws me off, and I just be like, what's going through that mind of yours, Mitch? And I hate when they don't check in with him, because I'm like, something's happening over there with Mitch. Does nobody else see that? Or maybe that's just his face. I don't know, but like I said, it very well could be fear. It could be just fear that he might not be able to rise to those expectations. Maybe even think, he's already feeling like, he's not being himself necessarily. And it's even off-putting, for him. Like she's already pulling back, and then makes him pulling back because he's, overthinking it, in his head. So, I don't know. We're going to see y'all. We're going to see y'all. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I was dreading the meetup between Morgan and Ben. Like, am I the only one that just feels like that this is over? Like, talk to me. Yo, if you made it this far, especially if you made it this far already, drop me a comment below, a purple heart or the purple with the white heart down there. Drop me that if you made it this far in the video, just to let me know, like, hey girl, I'm sticking with you. I'm sticking with you, girl. Throw me a thumbs up as well. Really appreciate it. I like to shoot for 5 thumbs up, y'all. You're catching the videos. If I could just get those likes, y'all, that definitely lets me know, and other people know that this is a video they want to check out. Okay, so come on, help your girl out. Thanks. I did it on purpose. There's nothing wrong with me winking. I can wink, y'all. I promise. I just be being silly. But y'all, so I was really just dreading the meeting, their sit down with Dr. Pia. Like, because I feel like this marriage is over, and I'm honestly trying to figure out like why we're even going through this. Like, so of course, like the couples, and at the end of the episode they have the meetups, the wives meet up, the husbands meet up, and obviously I expect the guys, to have, certain views, because they're only getting one side. The same with the women. They side with Morgan because, they're only getting, that side or whatever. And they know Morgan, better than, what they know Ben. Even when Alexis had things to say. Nate had things to say, about Alexis. Again, that's a side that he's only getting from Justin. He's not, so you can expect that. He's making a judgment. They're all making judgments on this one particular, story, that they're getting. So with that, I think it's just, I'm with the guys with that. Like, I feel like Ben is not going to win either way. He's already on the outs with her. She's definitely has that wall up now. So this, I need a genuine apology. I feel like you haven't given me a genuine feelings apology. What would you know of like, you already, I feel like this man has done nothing but basically negative things. And so what would you feel like about anything about him that's real or genuine then necessarily? Okay, that's my first point, if that makes sense. Secondly, you're already shut off because the man has apologized. I felt like it was given genuinely. The man has apologized, and again, in your feelings, you felt like it was not genuine. The guys feel like, how would you even know, because you have this wall and this guard up about or not even that would you know, how could you accept it when this guard is up? Like, did I just make my point, like the same point twice? I don't know, y'all, but either way, I feel like there's a reason and a block for why she's not going to be able to give this accept his apology or be able to see, because she already has this thought in her head about who he is and what he's about. For a second, y'all, I don't know if y'all heard her, but I did not hear her. So if y'all heard her, y'all was like, girl, you don't hear your baby. I was in my mode, y'all. I was in my mode. That, even down to the point where I don't even remember where I left off. But when we was talking about Morgan and Ben, and me feeling like Morgan's not giving Ben the chance, feeling like she would know what a genuine apology from him would even look like. let alone even accept it. So honestly, y'all, like, I think what threw me, all right, one, okay, let's talk about this. Remember when they were at their anniversary, you know, one of my anniversary thing or whatever, whatnot, and she was like, oh, we're gonna still do this, or I want you to still see me, like, and live and see this, what you did, like, boom, 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 trying to throw this mess in his face. But she's not living in the apartment with him. She's back at her place. All right, boom. How you expect to build something and try to regain something back with this man when you don't even not even bother to live with him, let alone even spend time with him? Y'all, the girl's checked out. I don't even know why we're even going through these emotions. Basically so that she can still hang out with the girls, be friends with the girls. Like, you're done. Like, she's done, y'all. I don't even know why she tried to been through this, like, she's ready to give him another chance. She's not. She's not, whether she knows it from herself or not. Like, she's not. Like, her tears, oh my God, y'all, they didn't move me. And I'm trying so hard to put myself, and that is not hard for me, y'all. That is not hard for me. Like, to be able to put myself in her shoes, see where she's coming from, whatever, whatever, and she's still holding on to this, like not even slowly, like, letting go. So if you're so just, I'm sorry, y'all, I just don't believe this so-called apology that she's asking for is going to be it. And I think I feel sorry for Ben, because I think Ben is just one, he's those type of guys who, if he feels like he's not going to say the right thing, he's not going to say it. Been there, done that. Like, he's not going to just say, you know, anything. And I think, what was it also that, like, oh yeah, that's what it was. He was talking about how, and I think that definitely spoke volumes, how he basically admitted to basically being intimidated, you know, by her, and that her temperament reminds him of his dad, and which, because his dad was always hard on him or whatever, and that triggers him. So I was like, you're like, this is really, like, it's probably why he feel like he can't talk to his wife, and why might be why he's going to other people. I'm not making this right, y'all. I'm not saying he's right, that, like, what he did was wrong and was distrusting. I'm just like, if this is where I'm just sick of Morgan and where she's at with this. Like, be done. Be done, and, like, move on. Like, just, I don't see no point of us even watching them even go through this motions. Like, they're not gonna end up on, they're not gonna stay married. I don't understand why they're even still trying to go through these motions right now when she's not giving it the chance to do so. And you say, oh, it's because I haven't gotten a genuine apology from him. Well, what? All right, I know that's not fair to say. So don't say that. See, that's not fair to say. But, so I don't know. I think I'd just be grateful for when they have the moments where they can get with each other and, like, be outlets to each other, even if, you know, whether what they're getting from the other is the correct advice, because again, it's a one side of a story. I just think they need it. They need it. Heck, I need it for them. Like, they, oh, really going through it, y'all. Like, they're really, like, really, these couples are, like, really going through it and, like, really getting to it. It's so close. Like, I honestly can't even believe that it's almost the end. I feel like the seasons usually are, like, so much longer. Maybe it's the fact that I'm just doing a recap for the first time, or maybe, no, I've been, like, caught up. Like, I became a Marriage at First Sight plan, like, Marriage at First Sight fan very late, y'all. I probably say me and my daughter did not really become fans until, was it the pandemic? Was it 2020? If it wasn't 2019, I definitely want to say it was 2020. And we binged watched the very first season, and I think we had finally we finally got caught up when it was if this is what, season 15, right? So I want to say that about 12, 13 is when we probably got, like, officially caught up, and that was, like, This is now 2021. That was like 20, yeah, it was like maybe like the end of 2021, something like that or whatever, whatnot. Not like to say, like, if you think about it, these episodes belong. So it says they got over time. They got even longer. Because remember, in the beginning, like, it was on, like, what, like 3, 4 couples. Now we're, like, down to, like, 5 almost. Yeah, it's just, like, 4 and 5. And the episodes are longer, not just an hour, 2 hours. And then just days when my daughter didn't want to watch it, and I wanted to watch it. Sometimes I didn't watch it without her. Like, every now and then, like, she'll get excited about it, like, when it's a new season, and after a while, it'll, like, get kind of, like, fills it out for her. But she'll check and be like, what's going on with everybody, Mom? Like, whatever. Did they stay together? Did they not? So she invested, but not, like, full-on invested, you know, which is cool. Like, I don't know, like, what draws her about this show. I have no idea, but bonding time for us. So I'm rambling on, y'all, longer than I'm rambling on. I'm done talking about the recap. So even just talking about that, if you think you might be interested in my vlog channel, check that out. The link is in the description below. And as always, thank you guys for checking me out, and I'll see y'all next week. Drop me some comments below. Let me know what y'all thought of, like, this episode. Of course, yeah, let me know. Like, come on, come on, see the besties. Who else I need to talk to somebody to talk to, and y'all not talking to me. Talk to me.